Hello friends, welcome back to the Selenium tutorials. As we are all aware, nowadays the Python programming language has gained a lot of popularity. So we should know how to program in Python and execute the Selenium scripts. So in the next set of tutorials, I will explain how to configure Python with Selenium. So to make the tutorial simple, what I am doing is I am dividing this tutorial in three parts. The first part would be installation and configuration of Python on Windows. Second would be configuration of Python with the Selenium WebDriver, and third would be configuration of Eclipse, the IDE, with Python. So let's begin with the first part, which is installation and configuration of Python. So this part is pretty simple. You just have to go to this website. This is the website. You can make a note of this. Here you go, www.python.org/downloads. Here you will find the latest version of Python which you can download. So here you have the option of downloading Python. I am downloading the latest version, which is 3.6.4. so you can download by just clicking on this button as I am doing it right now. So it will take a few minutes to get downloaded. If you could see on the left hand corner of this browser, the download has already started. It will take a few minutes for the download to get completed. So the download has got completed. I would go to my downloads folder. You could just click this here if you're using Chrome browser, or you could go to your downloads folder. Here you could see this thing, Python 3.6.4. it has got downloaded. When you double click on this, you will get this window which is asking you to get the installation started. If you see the bottom option, like here it is asking add Python to 3.6 to the path. I would select this option. I will tell you later on why it has been selected. For now, just use this option, and on the top now click on the install now option. So as you can see, the installation has started here. And the installation will take few minutes to get completed. So as you can see, the setup was successful. So we have successfully installed Python in our systems. Now let us just write a sample program to check whether everything is in place. So let's learn how to do that. I'll just close this window. So I'll go to the start menu. If you could see here, I have Python 3.6 32-bit installed. So I'll just click over there. You will find this kind of a window popping up. So here is the place where we will write a small test program to check whether all the installations are correctly done. So what I'll do is I'll go to file, new file, and here I'll just one line, that is print hello world. Next step is we'll save this file. You can save this file anywhere in your system. I'll just save it at the default location. The name I'm giving this as test1. I'll click the save button. So this is ready to be executed. Now I will select this run option and select a run module, or I'll press F5. So as you can see over here, the hello world phrase has been printed, which tells us that the installation and configuration of Python is correctly done on our system. So we have completed the first part, which was installation and configuration of Python on our Windows system. Just one point regarding the path variable, which was pending, like that was to be explained. I will explain you about the path variable. So once again, go to the menu. In the search bar, type environment. So you'll get this kind of an option, edit system environment variables. Just click over there. So once you click there, bottom, if you see in the bottom, this on the taskbar, you'll get this window with system properties. If you see at the end we have got something called environment variables, just click that button. After clicking that button, if you see the third option, your path, select that and again click edit. Now if you carefully observe over here, now this is the path where Python is installed, and by default after installation of Python this has been added in the environment variables. This is because when we were installing Python we had selected that option of adding the variable to the environment, because of which this path has been added. I would suggest that always select that option so that you will not have to do this thing manually, and the path would get automatically added on the path variable. So we are done with the first part of configuration of Python with Selenium. In this part of the tutorial we would learn how to configure Selenium WebDriver with Python. Since Python is already installed in our system, the next part is we need to configure Python with Selenium WebDriver. So let's start doing that. Just one important point before beginning is that for accomplishing this task we should exactly know where Python is installed in our system. So whenever we are installing Python, we come across this kind of a window where we have this path line. This is the path below install now. This is the path where Python is installed in my system. Or if you want to change the location, you could select the second option. If you go to the next screen here you could browse to any location of your choice, select the location and continue with the installation. But for configuring Python and Selenium WebDriver, you should exactly know where Python is installed in your system. I'm not customizing the installation, I'm keeping it as it is. So in my case, I have already installed Python. It is located in this location. I have made a note of this path. Here is the path where my Python is installed in my system. We'll just see what files are available at this folder location. I'll just navigate to this folder in my file structure. So this is the folder location. So these are the files which are available to us. Here we have an important folder called scripts. If I go into this scripts, there are a number of files. Now the most important file is the pip file. This is an executable file. Using this file we would be installing Selenium and configure it the same with the Python. So let's do that. We will use the command prompt to achieve configuration of Selenium WebDriver with Python. So I'll start the command prompt. I use my keyboard, the Windows symbol and the key R, and here I type cmd and I see the command prompt has opened. Now on this command prompt I will navigate to this path, the scripts path within Python. I'll navigate to that path. So to do that I'll type in the command cd, which is change directory, and I'll just paste the path of the scripts location and I'll just press enter. So now you are within that location. Now at this point in time we would be using this pip file here. We'll be writing a command which will do the installation of Selenium. So let's do that. To install Selenium we have to fire this small command. It is just a simple command. If we fire this command, then Selenium will get downloaded and installed. So this is the command. I'm just copying this command and I am pasting it on the command prompt. Remember that I am already in the location where Python is installed and I have moved into the scripts folder, after which I am pasting this command. The command is very simple: pip.exe install -u space Selenium, and now I'll press enter. So if you see, it is showing some messages. It is collecting Selenium. Now it is showing installing collected packages, and if you see the last message, which is successfully installed Selenium. Now with this success message, we are sure that Selenium is correctly installed in our system. But one important point to note is that make sure whenever you are executing this command you have your internet connection on, because it downloads the Selenium WebDriver Python files and places it in your, it downloads and places it in your file system. So if your internet connection is not on, it will throw error messages and the download would fail. Since my internet connection was on, we got this success message. I'll show you the path where these Selenium files would have got downloaded. So this is the path, like we remember, like Python 3632 is the path where Python was installed. Under it is lib and under it is side packages, and here if you would see there is a folder called Selenium. Here is the WebDriver file, so all the files get downloaded here. So it is very important that the internet connection should be on. So with this the Selenium files are ready with us. Now we just need to execute a simple script and check whether our configuration of Python with Selenium is working fine or not. So let's start doing that. So let's open the Python editor. Here is it. I just clicked on it, so it will open. So this has opened. Now I'll create a new file and write a simple script here. I have already written the script. I'm just copying and pasting it. I'll explain you. It is a very simple script, like it is just opening the Firefox browser and navigating to google.com. The first statement from Selenium import WebDriver, it is similar to the import statements we used in Java. We'll go into the details of this syntax later on, but for this tutorial we will just see how this script executes, which will verify whether our installation and configuration of Python with Selenium WebDriver is correct or not. So what we'll do is, like, we'll save this file. I'll give a name to this file as test Selenium 1. I'll save this file, and now I'll execute this file and check whether everything is working fine. So I'll go to run and click on run module. So something has started executing. So you can see the browser has been launched, and now it will try to navigate to google.com, which it has successfully done. So we are sure that our installation and configuration of Python and Selenium WebDriver is successful. This was the simple script which we executed, like the 3 lines to check the installation and configuration. One very important point to note over here is, like, we are using the Firefox browser, and if you remember, like, the latest version of Firefox browsers do not directly execute. We require the dependency of a Gecko driver. So if in case it may happen, if you do not have the Gecko driver, this code won't work and it would fail. So to avoid the failure, please follow the steps which I am showing right now. As I told, there would be a dependency on the Gecko driver, so you'll have to download and install the Gecko driver. I'll show you from where you can get the Gecko driver. This is the website. I'm just pasting it over here. github.com Mozilla Gecko driver releases. From here you would be able to download the Gecko driver. Here are the options for Windows. I'm just hovering it over here. Version 19.1, Win32 and Win64, depending on your system. Please download the appropriate Gecko driver files. Once you download it, it would be there in your download folder. There you'll have to just unzip it. After unzipping it, you will have this kind of an exe file wherever you have unzipped it. So here this location is very important, so you should copy this location and once again go to the environment variables and add the path of Gecko exe in the path variable. I'll show you. So this was the path variable. Just click on edit. Here I already have this. If you do not have, you could just click on this new button, and in this text box just paste the path, and once you have pasted the path, just click on OK. Since I already have this path available with me, I'll just click on cancel. Don't forget this part, because if the path variable is not set with the exe or gecko exe path, then the Python script will fail. So we have completed the second part, which was configuration of Python with the Selenium WebDriver. In this part of the tutorial, we'll cover the third part, which is configuration of Eclipse with Python. Up till now, we understood how to install and configure Python. We also did the configuration of Python with Selenium WebDriver. Now we'll cover the last part, which is configuration of Eclipse IDE with Python. We can use the Python editor as it is to write the programs and of Selenium WebDriver scripts, but since when we were using Java, we had used Eclipse, so I'll just show you how to configure Eclipse, and you can use Eclipse for your Selenium WebDriver scripts. So let's start learning that. So the first part would be, you should have Eclipse IDE. I would suggest that you download the latest version of Eclipse. You can find the latest version of Eclipse on this website, www.eclipse.org/downloads. This is the official website from where you can download Eclipse. If you would see here, we have the option of downloading Eclipse, which is Eclipse Oxygen. This should be the latest version. I am just clicking on this download 64-bit to get the download started. It will take few minutes to download. I'll just click on this button again. So once the download will get completed, it would be available in your downloads folder. Here you could see Eclipse INST-64. It is available in my downloads folder. I'll just double click it to get the installation started. So this is the installer. I'll select the first option. I know it shows IDE for Java developers. That is fine. We'll do some configuration so that Python would get enabled and you'll be able to do Python programming on Eclipse IDE. So I'm just clicking this option, and I'm doing clicking here the install button. So as you can see, the installation of Eclipse IDE has started, and both the options of creating a desktop shortcut and a start menu entry has been selected. So we'll automatically have a desktop shortcut and also a menu entry, start menu entry. It will take a few minutes. So the installation has got completed. I'll just click on this launch button to get the IDE started. This is the workspace where your things would get stored. So you could select any location on your system, or you could keep it as default, so it is up to you. And now I'll click the last option, launch, over here, which will launch the Eclipse IDE. So the IDE has started. Sometimes what you may observe is like you may get this kind of a screen. So not to worry, if you get this kind of a screen, then just click on this kind of a image, like which is an arrow image towards the right. Once you do that, you will land up on this screen. If you do not get that screen, we can just continue our work with this screen. So this is the screen, like this is the IDE, Eclipse IDE. Now the next step is we need to do some configurations with the help of which the Eclipse IDE would be able to run Python scripts. So let's learn that, how to do that. So you need to go to this help menu. Here you have an option called install new software. Click there. On this screen, if you would see on the top, here it is written type or select a site. So this is the place where we need to type in the website from which we would be downloading the configurations for Python. So please make a note of this website. It is http://pydev.org/updates. So you can use this website, just copy it, and I'm just pasting it over here and pressing enter. You could see like something is happening below. You can see this green mark, and if you see now, here we have some options. So I'll just select the first option, which is pydev, and now I'll click next. On the next screen, I'll select pydev for Eclipse for Eclipse, the first option, and then again I'll click on next. Here we have some license, accept, and click on the finish button. You may get this kind of a warning, which is okay. You could just click on install anyway, and if you see below, you could see that installation is in progress. Here it is showing 56%. It will take few minutes, and then the installation of Python for Eclipse IDE would get completed. So here you go, the installation has been completed. It is asking us to restart Eclipse, so we can do it right now. I'm just clicking on this restart now button. So it is restarting. So now it has restarted. So the next part is we'll create a Python project, which is like go to file, new, select the last option, other, and here if you scroll down, you have this option pydev project. So this is the option which we need to select, and click on the next button. You could give some name to the project. I would give this name as test selenium underscore python. Any name, any project name of your choice. If you would come to the middle of this window, like there is something called interpreter, which it is currently showing Python default. If this is not present for any reason, you have to click this option, and there would be another option popping up, which would be like auto configure. Just click on that button. But since we have already installed Python in the previous set, like the previous step, so we are getting this default Python selected. But in case you do not get, just click here to configure an interpreter not listed, and there would be another button popping up which would be asking for auto configuration. Just select that and you should be good. So once these things are done, I'm just clicking on the finish button, and yes, I'm saying open perspective. That's okay. So this is my Python Selenium project. Our project is ready. Now what we'll do is we'll write a small script, the same script which we had written on the Python editor, and check whether it is working from here. So let's do that. So right click on your project name, new, and select pydev module. Package is nothing, that's kind of a folder where all your source files would be stored. So I'm giving the name as test package py. You can write any name over here, and here I'll give the name of the file, which is my test1, and now I'll click on the finish button. You can give access if this kind of a pop-up comes up. Just select allow access. You may get this kind of windows. You could just cancel it, that is okay. That is also, I'm not reading any kind of this notification from pydev org. I'm clicking show later. So my test is ready. Here you could see test1.py. this is the name of the script which I had given, and if I just double click on it, on the right hand side this pane would open, and this is the place where we would be writing our script. So I'll write the same script which we had written on the editor, on the Python editor. I'm just copying this entire thing and pasting it over here. I'll just save this, and now it is ready to be executed. So for execution, you could do a right click, you have an option run as, and you can select Python run. So I'm just clicking this, and let's see whether everything works fine or not. So as you can see, the Mozilla browser has launched. In few seconds it should navigate to the google.com page, and it has done that, which means all our configuration and installations are successful. So we have completed all the three parts of this tutorial of configuring Python with Selenium WebDriver and also configuring Python with Eclipse IDE. So all these steps are complete. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and I'll see you in my next set of tutorials. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.